The first spark of the global crisis ignited in 2027 when tensions between the United States and China escalated to unprecedented levels. In the South China Sea, a shocking incident occurred when an American warship collided with a Chinese vessel during naval maneuvers, leading to a massive international crisis. Both governments exchanged accusations. The United States claimed the collision was the result of aggressive actions by the Chinese Navy, while China accused the American ship of entering Chinese territorial waters without permission. Within days, the number of warships in the area increased, along with warnings of the potential for military escalation. Both sides were on the brink, closely monitoring each other, each waiting for a misstep from the other to justify military action. On the other side of the world, a new front was igniting. Russia, which had been expanding its military influence in Ukraine for years, launched a large-scale offensive to seize new territories. Russian forces rapidly spread across the border regions, significantly increasing tensions. This move prompted NATO countries to intervene immediately, declaring that any attempt to threaten European security would be met with full force. Thus, matters escalated globally, amid rising fiery rhetoric and dangerous military maneuvers, making it clear to everyone that the world was on the brink of a total conflict that could reshape the course of history. As tensions escalated, local conflicts significantly increased. In the Middle East, hostilities between Iran and Israel intensified, resulting in clashes in sensitive regions. While nations raced to form their alliances, memories of the alliances from World War I resurfaced, complicating the situation further. Major powers held urgent diplomatic talks, but there were no signs of de-escalation. With the spotlight on the growing crises, the world was heading toward the brink, where doubts prevailed and relationships between nations grew increasingly strained. Aggressive statements and military threats became part of global politics, and everyone was acutely aware that any misstep could lead to an explosion of conflict beyond control. On a cold night in February 2027, disaster struck. In an uncalculated move, Russia launched its missiles at NATO military facilities in Eastern Europe, claiming it was a response to a looming threat. The response was swift and decisive. NATO began extensive operations for defense and counterattack, and as the situation escalated, things dramatically spiraled out of control. Limited skirmishes quickly escalated into full-scale fighting, with soldiers deploying on multiple fronts, turning major cities into battlegrounds. As the conflict erupted, nations began to suffer painful blows, and feelings of fear and panic surfaced, as everyone realized they stood on the brink of a global war whose consequences were unimaginable. In this war, battles extended beyond land, with electronic warfare becoming a key weapon aimed at disrupting vital infrastructure and manipulating information. Nations faced immense strain from cyber attacks on critical facilities like hospitals and power grids, leading to widespread chaos. Satellites, once the backbone of global security, were devastated, causing communication and navigation failures. The skies filled with warnings as countries struggled to control their airspaces. As tensions escalated, it became clear that this conflict was not just about territory. It was a fight for survival in an era defined by advanced technology and disorder. Within a matter of days, countries like North Korea, Iran, and several African nations joined the fray, plunging the world into utter chaos. Major cities transformed into battlegrounds, with violent clashes erupting in the streets, disrupting daily life. Essential supplies and resources were cut off, leading communities to the brink of collapse. The sounds of explosions echoed everywhere as soldiers marched through shattered streets, surrounded by devastation. Amidst this turmoil, feelings of despair and anxiety prevailed. people began to question the possibility of peace, wondering if the world had indeed entered an inescapable era of conflict. If a third world war were to occur, it would be unique due to nuclear technology, cyber warfare, and the use of space, allowing for the destruction of the world at the push of a button. The question remains, can humanity avoid this catastrophic scenario and overcome its differences before conflict surpasses the point of no return? These questions weigh on minds and prompt us to think about our future. Will there be hope for peace, or will we continue in a spiral of conflict? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting topics.